Hello, everybody, and welcome back to your daily basketball recap. Today, today we're just going to go over these two lists that the NBA put out onto their website, um, talking about the best players from each conference. Actually, I want your thoughts, and input. I'm going to actually go through it myself now with you guys. Um, Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. Um, so the top 10 Eastern players. Top 10 Eastern players heading into the 25-26 NBA season. The NBA ranks Giannis Antetokounmpo number 1. Jaylen Brunson is number 2. Donovan Mitchell is number 3. Giannis at 1 is correct for sure. Jaylen at 2. Yeah, I think that's also correct. The playoffs was like masterclass, like he was so excellent. I'm assuming they're not listing Jason Tatum here because he's probably going to be out most of the season. I'm just looking farther down to see if they don't really talk about it in Jaylen's. Okay, no spoilers. Sorry. Um, maybe it's somewhere up here. Yeah, asterisks of Jason Tatum and Tyrese Halliburton. Okay, fine. Yeah, all things included, I think that Jaylen Brunson is the second best player in the East. Number 3 with Donovan Mitchell. I I just don't like the way that they flamed out in the playoffs. I know that he was injured, but he's a very talented. Don't get me wrong. I actually really like Donovan Mitchell a lot. I think that he's a very, very good player. Number 3 on the list is it just doesn't feel right to me. Number 4 is Paolo Banchero. Okay. Number 4 is Paolo Banchero. Number 5 is Cade Cunningham. I would put Cade Cunningham. I would actually put Cade Cunningham above Paolo Banchero. At 4. And again, don't come for me. I think Paolo Banchero is I think especially in this upcoming season, I think he's going to be awesome. But I think Cade is just going to take it to another level, especially with the team that they have. The expectations now are higher this going into this season. And then we got Donovan Mitchell. I think with this pool, it's right to have him at number 3 so far. Joel Embiid at number 6. I just the amount of reporting that I've seen that they're not confident in his knee still, it's just upsetting. It's upsetting. And I hope that he's number 6 for the Eastern Conference this year. I would actually really love that. I think that that would make me very, very happy for the sake of good basketball and the 76ers competing. And like I want to see a healthy 76ers team be able to actually make noise in the playoffs and everything. I would love that. So if he is number 6, that'd be awesome. Number 7 is Evan Mobley. Um, I think this will be a very big year for him in terms of his progression. Yeah, I think it's like a little bit like the Jaren Jackson season from 2 years ago. We know that you have all the talent in the world. We just want to see you be able to put it all together. He did a little bit last season. I'm aware of that. Not more than a little bit, obviously. I want it more consistently. And I want it to be that Jarrett Allen doesn't outshine him at certain points, really, really take the crown. First, player number 7 in the Eastern Conference. I would like, that's the season that I would want to see out of him. Jaylen Brown for the Boston Celtics. Jaylen Brown for the Boston Celtics is at number 8. All things considered, if he plays out a healthy season, which he should, I think that he might be a little bit higher on this list, actually. He's basically the number 1 in this scenario, and he's shown that he can play the defense, and I think he's going to use this season as a proving ground. So I think that he might end up a little bit higher. Number 9, Karl-Anthony Towns. He's got to be up here. I think that he's the 9th most important player is definitely what I would say. I don't know about best because night to night it's different. Like I just I don't know. He needs more consistency. At the end of the playoffs, he found out that he could drive to the basket. I don't know why it took him that long, especially because he was like still doing that in college, so it didn't make any sense why he stopped. But again, he this you know again this could prove to be um, a very very important season for Karl Anthony Towns, especially if he wants to stay on the Knicks. Actually, um, because since the Knicks got the taste of the Eastern Conference last year, this is not the train is not going to slow down, and if he's not helping them win fully, he's going to be out of here. So he's gonna have to during the regular season last year he played very very well. I will say that, but he's going to have to pick up the consistency and the aggression, and we're gonna I think we're going to see that. Number 10 is Trae Young. Similar to Jaylen Brown, I actually think that this team the Hawks have built is I don't know another team that is out there that is more perfectly built for Trae Young. This is going to be, I really think for the Atlanta Hawks, a really great year. And I'm excited to watch the basketball that it brings. And I think if all things go well for the Hawks, which they should, um, I think he's going to be higher on this list. And I think we might actually be able to see a situation in which people are able to value and appreciate Trae Young, and I'm excited for it. Um, there's always been the questions of empty stats, bad team kind of guy. I think this could be a season where he actually is able to show that he's able to put up still big stats on a winning team in a system built more around him, and there's like less leakage from all the other players who are not really playing up to his level. They're not up to his level, but within the system that he has to kind of work in because he's very fast paced, run and gun. Likes to find other guys to pass to, but definitely it's his style of ball. Um, for me, I just want to go through a few options of people that might be alternatives to this list that we have in front of us here. Um, I'm just looking through the teams now. As far as the New York Knicks, I think Mikal Bridges could be in a conversation for important two-way player up to player 10. Do I think that he'd be better than Trae Young? That's an all-star. I don't know. I don't think I agree with that, actually. You know what? I'm going to leave this in, but I'm going to show that I'm disagreeing with myself. Tyrese Maxey, I think, could definitely be on this list and probably should be on this list. I'm not going to go through exact ranking, but I think that he definitely could be. Just looking at the rest of the Eastern Conference. Um, LaMelo's not on the list, notably. He hasn't really had that substantial season that we're looking for from him. But I think he definitely, again, he's another one that I think that really could be on this list. Bam Adebayo is also not on this list, and neither is Tyler Hero. Do I think that they could one of the two of them by the end of the season could be a top 10 player in the Eastern Conference? Yeah, I definitely think so. Just knowing them, Franz Wagner also, by the way, is a name that's omitted from this that I think definitely could be on this list. Um, Looking at the rest of the Eastern Conference, that's kind of it. So let's move now into the Western Conference, 10 best. This is, by the way, according to Sean Powell, heading into this upcoming season. Nikola Jokic is on this list as 1A. Okay, so now we're moving on to the Western Conference. And he actually starts, Sean Powell does, by noting the honorable mentions that he omitted. So to start off with, he says that he left out Harden, Jalen Williams, John Morant, um, and Devin Booker. So I'm excited to go into this list and see who he put here. Um, okay, let's run through it. Nikola Jokic, he has as it seems to not be ranked in the same way. But let's go down the list as such. Nikola Jokic is number one for this list. I think for best player in the West, it's obviously an argument. Um, I think that he's going to show again that he can be a leader of a winning basketball team as he was this past season. I think you got to give it to SGA just because he won the MVP, he won the finals. Like this coming into this new season, I think you got to give it to SGA definitely to be the number, 1A. But I think that they're Jokic. Jokic is Jokic. You know what I'm saying? There's no way that he'd be left off this list. But I think that Shea is part of that conversation too. He's just starting to really build out his legacy, and he's done a lot over the past season that really proves to me that I think that he should be right now the number one player to watch in the West. Anthony Edwards, definitely. Just from even like changing up his play style last season, to start it off in the conversation about Anthony Edwards, he's also just like, man, he exceeded expectations 2 years ago in the playoffs, really kicked it up a notch. Last season, he just totally shifted his whole entire play style to make it more modern. And then in the playoffs, pulled out some really incredible games that showed you how skilled he has become. And I'm excited for him to build on that. So he's definitely, that would be a correct pick to put him at number 3. Luka at number 4. So I actually think that I would swap these. Not any disrespect to Anthony Edwards. I think Luka's just looking to prove more. I think a lot of people have forgotten how excellent Luka Doncic is at basketball and how like he's just an incredible player. Um, I think he's like really, honestly, to this point, I think he's underrated. Even going into the season, people are not putting enough respect on Luka's name, and what he's shown that he's capable of doing. Not just because of the weight loss and whatever stuff over the course of the offseason. He's just Luka Doncic. Like he's going to look to bounce back. Luka carries a chip on his shoulder always, and I think this is going to be like a season that he's like, okay, we're really going for it. So, and he has a better supporting cast around him now than he did last year. Um, at the end of last year, I should say, going into the playoffs. So I think that I would put him at 3. I think he's going to be. I think he's going to be. I think he's going to have a better season than Anthony Edwards, but Anthony Edwards he's going to have a great season. Steph Curry of the Golden State Warriors. I don't ever want to count Steph Curry out. He's just getting older, and the style of play that Golden State played at the end of last season, it's using him at a very, very high rate. I think if they trade Jonathan Kuminga and they're able to get some other pieces back for him, I think you remember when Steph like used to rest in like those third quarters for certain stretches of minutes because they found how to optimize his game, and I'm a little bit worried that they're top heavy on this team, and the top heavy guys are significantly older than most of the NBA. So I would love for Steph Curry to be on this list um, at the end of next season and say, wow, look at this historic performance that Steph Curry has still put in at the age of, uh, I don't know how old he's going to be. I think he's 38, maybe. You guys will tell me. That's like the one comment that I can guarantee will be at the end of the video for every single video that I put out is like, no, he's actually this age. But I would love for him to be number 5. Number 5, Anthony Davis. Listen, I don't think enough people talk about it. Majority of Anthony Davis's season last season was healthy Anthony Davis, and he played really, really well. And I don't think that we should expect any less, especially now that he'll be able to go back to playing power forward effectively. And he'll be able to be not playing as many minutes because they have more depth than the Lakers did last season. So I really think that it might be that Anthony Davis is here and his defensive prowess is also on full display, at least through the majority of the season. And I really like Anthony Davis a lot, and I think that he's totally capable of putting up a sixth best player in the West season. Kevin Durant is 7. I think Kevin Durant is going to be higher. If I had to make a guess, honestly, I think Kevin Durant would swap places with Steph Curry so far. Um, Again, he's, as it notes here in this article as well, he's getting older, as we all do. But I just think his full offensive game is going to be showcased in this season in a way that it hasn't been, similar to when he was on OKC, even because even in the Nets offense, the motion was kind of different. Ime Udoka is more ISO and more lets the player create a little bit more for themselves. Not that the Nets didn't do that necessarily, but it was like an attempt at a faster paced offense. KD will be around a bunch of people who don't necessarily create their own shot, and I think that you'll just see how offensively talented he is more so this season. So I think it'll be more on display than maybe Steph is able to, just because of the way that their ball movement works and how Jimmy looked at the end of last season. Even though he helped Steph improve his stats towards the end of last season, I just feel like KD's season will be more impressive overall. Kawhi Leonard is number 8. Show me health, and I will agree with you. The playoffs last year were very impressive. Very, very impressive. I will never doubt Kawhi Leonard's skill level. I just feel like he always leaves you wanting more. And I can't give that an A. Like his season last season was not, people were like, okay, so like Kawhi's like kind of like taking a step back, and then the playoffs he showed that he didn't. But I don't know. I need to see him be able to consistently bring it in this way and not get tremendously injured at some point in the season, God forbid. But who knows? LeBron James. I'm noticing that this list is filled with a lot of people in their late 40s or late 30s or 40s with LeBron James at number 9. LeBron James was number 6 in MVP voting last year, deservedly so. He was playing incredible basketball at an age that not many people can like go for runs and not have their knees hurt. And he's likely to still, like, that's actually one that you really can't get out is LeBron James, like, no matter what. Like, if you're telling me that LeBron James is now a certified number 2 on his team, having LeBron James as your secondary option with Luka Doncic as your first option, that's kind of like a cheat code in and of itself. Just kind of an all-around guy. Whenever you need him to do something specific, he's gonna do it because that's LeBron James. He's like the closest thing that you get to a jack of all trades on the highest level. I mean, he locks it on defense whenever he wants to as well. I think that I'll have a great season. I really do. I think that LeBron doesn't believe in resting too much either. Like, he's not going to let himself just be the old guy on the bench who's carried. He pulls his weight. And again, they've last season they had a lot less depth than this season. It's not. I don't want to say a lot. They've definitely had less depth last season than they do this season. So I'm excited to see. I'm excited. I want them to make a real run. So I'm looking forward to that. And the last one is Victor Wembanyama. I'm gonna let you guys in on a little secret. In my opinion, he is going to be, by the end of this season, much, much higher on this list. And we're going to look at this and say, wow, that's crazy that we ranked him 10. Because the truth is, he was going to win Defensive Player of the Year last year if he didn't get injured or, had to sit out with the blood clots. I don't think that there's any way. I don't think that there's any way that he's not finishing over Anthony Davis next season, Steph Curry. Yeah, he could really take that 5 spot very easily, very easily. And I'm going to do the same thing for the Western Conference. Just look over the teams and make sure that I don't think that we're missing anybody. Um, if Rudy Gobert starts hitting threes like we've been seeing, maybe he'll be on this list. No, I'm just kidding. Um, yeah, it's looking to be the Devin Booker call was correct. I don't think that he's going to be better than any of the players on this list. Um, yeah, yeah. Maybe De'Aaron Fox sneaks in there, honestly. Maybe he sneaks in there. Maybe he's proving something this season, looking to prove something this season. Maybe Jaren Jackson Jr. ends up on this list also. I think that he didn't even get an honorable mention. I think that he should be in there because he had a great season last season. And the season before that, he was a defensive menace. And I think he could do both. Um, with a new coach, we'll see how that plays out. Maybe this is my dark horse pick to be here. And he's the favorite to be MIP. But, oh, also, by the way, Jimmy might be on here. Um, it might happen. I don't know if anybody's going to like this. I think Denny might be on this list. I think that he's just going to have this explosion. He's such a talented player. It might happen. That's my dark horse contender for being on this list by the end of the season. And it'd be fun if it happens. Anyways, please let us know your thoughts down below. Like, comment, subscribe, all those good things. Every day we're here recapping some basketball. There wasn't a lot of basketball news today, as for the reason that I'm here. There was one signing, I believe, within the last 24 hours, which was Georges Niang is going to the Jazz, re-signing with the Jazz. I like him, actually. I know I'm saying that about a lot of guys today. It doesn't always happen that way, but I like Georges Niang a lot. Okay, I'm gonna calm down. I'm not gonna say a lot, but I think that he's actually with Trey last year, he showed you that he could be a consistent 3-point threat, and he's physical inside. So he for the Jazz, maybe a good veteran. Show some of the young guys how to use more of their physicality potentially, and just provide like a fun option. I wanted to see him on the Celtics. Honestly, I really did want to see him on the Celtics. And I think the Celtics fans would have loved him if he was able to stay there, but can't always win them. That was your daily basketball recap. I want to thank you for listening. I want to thank Max for producing. I want to thank Shlomo for being the best co-host a man could ask for. And I want to wish you all a great day.